Hi, I'm Rian, the team manager of Team Marlin. Welcome back to this episode of the Dev Class CAD tutorials. In this episode, we're going to be looking at making the wings of the car. So if you haven't already, go back to watch the first 4 videos where we go everything from the basics of OnShape to making the nose cones and cockpit areas. So, I hope you enjoy this video. Before we start the video, however, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Hayes Paper Co. who've kindly sponsored our journey through this competition. They've kindly given us free decal papers to decorate our car with our sponsored logos and their own logo. We've used this in Dev class. We plan to use this in Pro class, and you can check out their website at www.hayespaper.com. The link is down in the description for great decal paper. So the first thing we're going to do is create a plane, which will be to the side of the car around here. This will allow us to sketch our wings and extrude them into the car so that it creates a much smoother join than sketching them onto the car. So to do this, we're just going to click on the plane, which is the front plane, the right plane. So this should be the plane which is on the mirror line of the car. So then we're just going to click the plane button, which is up here, and the automatic setting is offset. So if it's not an offset, you can just go down to the drop down menu and click offset. So then we're just going to drag this out to this side, and then the length of the offset will be whatever wingspan you want your wings to be. So you can play around with this and even have different wingspans for your back and front wings. But remember to do CFD testing to find out the best combination of wings, as they are vital in providing lift and downforce to the car. So I'm going to go with a simple 30 millimeter wingspan and see how that goes. So you're just going to sketch onto this plane. So Shift S. We're going to do the back wings first. This will be a slightly simpler design, and for the front wings we'll do something slightly more complex. So we're just going to create a rectangle first. Like that, and then we're going to dimension it. So I'm going to go for 20 and make it slightly thinner, so probably about 3. Yep, and then you can move it like this. So if you hold a corner, hopefully you'll be able to move it in both directions like this. So we also want to make sure that we put it in our space which we've left for the wing over here. So this helps with the exclusion zone. So I'm just going to take, so you can see these lines up here. So I'm just going to take this line up, the construction line, and this should be at the back of the car anyway. So it should fit in there. So my wing might be slightly too long. I'm just going to make it slightly shorter, so 18. And then you can just drag it in here. And I think that looks good. So I'm then going to add a fillet. It'll be half of the 3, so 1.5. And then again on here. And this should hopefully create a rounded corner on both sides. So this is one shape you could do, and if you wanted to create an aerofoil shape, which is slightly more aerodynamic, which we're going to do for the front wing, you'd use the spline tool instead of the rectangle tool. So then we're going to click the tick, and then we're just going to use the extrude tool, or Shift E. I'm just going to click on here, and then instead of blind, because if we do blind it will go into the CO2 canister holder or not reach the car. I'm going to go to up to next. So this will stop each part of this extrude when it meets the car. So I'm just going to click the tick, and then you can also just edit the sketch and get it to how you want. So I think I might make my wingspan a little bit shorter. So I'm going to take the plane and just make it 25 millimeters instead. So you just go to this view, and I think that looks slightly better. So next we can create a wing plate. So if we sketch onto the end of the wing and press the N key to fill the camera, we can just use the offset tool or the O key and just create an offset. So I'm just going to create an offset of 0.5. It seems good, and Shift E to extrude. I'm going to extrude it out only about 0.5 millimeters. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. And then I might just even fillet the edge. So just 0.3 or 0.4. Yeah, that looks good. So once you've created the back wing, you can go back to our plane. Shift S to sketch, enter the camera, and just hide the plane with the P key. And then we'll go to sketch the front. So to do this, we're just going to use the spline tool to create an aerofoil. So I'm just going to create the aerofoil around here. So you can see where we've left space. So I'm just going to look at this space, which is this dot over here, so it lines up with this edge of the nose cone. So we have to create it inside this nose cone. So I'm just going to start at the back and create a simple kind of aerofoil shape. Like that. So once you've done that, you can edit any of the points that you want. I think I'm just going to leave it like this. In fact, actually just raise this point up slightly to make it slightly smoother. Then we're just going to go Shift D, and actually we will try and do a spline. So a sweep. So this will use a different spline which will go like this to create a more interesting shape when it joins to the car and hopefully direct air to where you want it to go. So we're just going to sketch on the front plane here. Doesn't have to intersect with our wing. We're just going to sketch like this, and then I'm just going to hover over the top and spline like this. I'm going to create a really simple kind of curved motion like that. So click the tick. Then I'm just going to use the sweep tool and click the aerofoil, and the path will be here. So it does say the best results when it intersects, but hopefully this should be okay. So if it doesn't work, then you may want to bring the plane forward using the offset tool so it intersects, and then sketch the spline there. But it's worked for us, so click the tick, and nothing intersects with the tailline guide. This is good. I'm just going to create a simple wing plate like before, using the offset tool here, this way, 0.5, and Shift E to extrude, 0.5 millimeters. Tick, Shift F to fillet, click the top of this, and 0.4 millimeters. So we've got our two wings, and the final thing we're going to do in this video is just create the axle holes. So we've got our wheels, which have a diameter of 30 millimeters, and we've got the place where the axle holes need to go. And they need to be a 3 millimeter diameter, as shown by this line over here. So we're going to sketch onto here, Shift and then enter the camera. I'm just going to bring up these lines using construction lines like this, so which is the L and the Q keys. So you may have to just hover over and then press L and Q for it to work. Make sure that it's vertical, and then again for this one. So then I'm just going to create another line which goes just off to the side, and this is going to be the radius, which is 15, which is half of the diameter. And then it's also going to get rid of this coincident and just drag it down slightly to where you want the bottom of the wheel. So I'm going to say I want the wheel about there. Kind of like So then I'm just going to take another construction line, put it right there. And then where these two meet, we're going to create a circle. That, and dimension it to 3 millimeters. Like that. So hopefully it should touch the sides of your construction lines. I'm thinking I might actually bring it down slightly further. That. So once you positioned it, we can then do the exact same on this side over here. But one thing I'm just going to do to make sure they're the same height is take the dimension of here, the center point, and just Control C. Okay, then click the Enter. Then we're just going to do the same thing over here. So you're just going to bring up these construction lines, which are over here, L and Q. So, up, L, Q, and again L and Q. Then I'm just going to bring up another construction line, and this one will be on the line, and we'll dimension it to our copied value. Then I'm just going to take it to the top, another construction line from the top of this to there, where they intersect will make our circle. I'll dimension that 3 millimeters. Okay, so we've got the axle holes. We're going to go Shift E to extrude, and then go to remove it, and then this has worked because it's short, but if it hasn't worked, you can just go to through all. It'll create the axle hole through all of the parts. So, let's make the axle holes. You've got basically a finished car. All we need to do now is just mirror it using the mirror tool. And we just click this part, and the mirror plane is going to be this edge of the car. And there we go. Got a completely finished car. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed and learned something, remember to comment down below and like this video, and subscribe to our channel and ring the bell for more videos like this and about graphic design and much more to do with the F1 Schools competition.